The night settles like a soft quilt across the quiet world. Above you, stars blink slowly in a canvas of deep velvet, timeless, gentle, as if the sky itself remembers something older than memory. Tonight, we travel not to frighten, but to float, not to awaken, but to let the weight of waking slip away. You're safe here in the hush of a story long faded, where names are like whispers, and time moves like candle smoke. Close your eyes. If they haven't closed already, let your breathing slow. Like a river that's forgotten its hurry, let go of the light, and let the dark cradle you. Soft, ancient, a place of wooden homes, and cold winters, of simple lives, wrapped in layers of cloth and prayer. A village nestled beneath bare trees and heavier thoughts. The year is 1692. But don't try to remember, just feel the air. Still and sharp, like the edge of an old book. It is winter in Salem Village. The wind drifts like a sigh between homes made of timber and silence. Fires glow low behind shutters, and the sky holds its breath. In this time, the world feels smaller. Days are brief, and nights are long. Long enough for dreams to wander, long enough for stories to grow. In Salem, silence was not just absence. It was comfort, tradition, even safety. To speak too much was to stir something best left sleeping. People bowed their heads, not only to God, but to order, to structure, to the quiet rules that kept the world from tilting too far. They prayed often, worked harder, and watched each other with eyes trained not just on kindness, but on correctness. To stray from the norm was to invite suspicion, and suspicion here was a seed that grew in frozen soil. But for now, it's only the snow that moves, drifting gently against dark windows, whispering over roofs, settling on fence posts like soft reminders that the world outside is vast and waiting. Breathe in slowly and exhale even slower. Let the sound of the past lull you. Let the flicker of firelight dance behind your mind's eye. There is nothing you need to do. Just listen. Just drift. The fire in the hearth crackles low. Its warmth stretches only a few feet into the cold room. But it's enough. Enough to cast flickering shadows across the wooden floor. Enough to keep the chill at bay for now. Outside, the wind whispers again. Not with urgency, but like a memory, repeating itself slowly, as though trying to be remembered. Salem Village lies still beneath a sky of frost and stars. A handful of lanterns flicker in the distance. But most homes are dark. The people sleep when they can. Sleep, for them, is not luxury. It's recovery from days spent laboring, from hearts held tight beneath rules and scripture and old fears. In one such home, the parsonage, a girl lies restless in her bed. Betty, just 9 years old. A child in years, but old in worry. The walls around her are bare. The bed is narrow. The night is deep. She watches the ceiling with wide eyes, as if searching for shapes only she can see. Something has changed in her, not in a loud way, but like a door left slightly open that should have stayed closed. She's quiet at first, not speaking, not crying, just listening to something that isn't there. Or perhaps only she can hear it. The house holds its breath. The servants glance at her, unsure. The Reverend prays longer than usual, and her cousin, Abigail, sits close, watching. Then, one morning, the quiet breaks. Betty begins to scream. It is not a tantrum. It is not a dream. It is a sound that startles the sparrows from the trees, a sound sharp enough to slice through the thin winter walls. She twists on the floor. She speaks in strange words. Her eyes lose focus, then sharpen on things no one else sees. And still, the snow falls softly outside. Unaware, unbothered. Breathe with me now. Slowly in and out. Let each word fall like snowflakes on your thoughts. No need to worry. We are only drifting deeper into a story softened by time, a tale without edges, a memory wrapped in mist. You are not in Salem. You are safe, floating gently through the past. As the fire crackles and Betty whispers, the hush inside the house begins to ripple, not loudly, not suddenly, but like water disturbed by a single drop. Betty's cries echo in the stillness, followed now by Abigail, 11 years old, eyes wide, voice trembling, body twitching like a branch in the wind. The adults don't understand. The reverend prays harder. The servants whisper to each other in corners. And outside, the snow keeps falling, layer upon layer, quiet as breath. It is not illness, they decide, not fever, not infection. It is something else, something old, something spoken of in quiet sermons and worn pages of the Bible. The devil was real to them, not as a symbol, but as a presence, a traveler, a tempter, a shadow lingering at the edge of the woods. And when children cry out without cause, twisting and gasping and screaming names, they do not doubt. They listen. Others begin to follow. Ann Putnam, Mercy Lewis, Mary Walcott, girls from other homes, other corners of the village. Their bodies jerk, their hands tremble, their voices raise names from the dust. But still, there are no torches, no trials. Not yet. Only the cold. And the questions, unspoken questions, that drift between neighbors like frost curling along window panes. Why these girls? Why now? But questions are dangerous here. Silence is safer. So they wait. They nod. They kneel in church and whisper prayers. They keep their eyes on the floor and their hearts tucked away like letters never meant to be opened. Outside, the woods wait. Dark, endless, whispers carried on the wind. Speak of things not meant to be seen. And still, the girls scream. Breathe again. Feel the quiet wrapping itself around you. Let your thoughts grow soft, your muscles loose. You are floating gently through a dream not your own. A story with no urgency, no need to understand, only to drift, and drift like snow on a forgotten field. Sleep is not far now, only the next breath away. The days pass like shadows stretching across a frozen field. And in Salem Village, the rhythm of life changes, not with thunder, but with the slow creak of suspicion settling into every home. The girls do not quiet. Their fits come in waves, twitching limbs, unseen blows, whispers that turn to wails, and always more names. The village listens, and slowly, softly, it begins to believe. But belief here is not comfort. It is not warm. It is not gentle. Belief in Salem is a blade, and blades must be pointed somewhere. The first name falls like frost on a roof. A servant in the reverend's house, a woman who came from elsewhere, a name spoken with unease, a face not quite like the others, different, and in Salem different is dangerous. She is questioned, pressed, and finally she confesses, or seems to. Her words are jumbled, strange, as if spoken through sleep. She speaks of visions, of creatures and compacts, of a black dog and a man in shadows. The villagers lean in, eyes wide, hearts racing beneath layers of wool. And worry Tataba is believed, because belief now is easier than doubt. And so the story deepens, not with facts, but with fear. More names, more whispers, more trembling hands pointing into the dark. Sarah Good, Sarah Osborne, outsiders, eccentric, alone. Their names stick like frost on the tongue. Still, no fire rages. Still, the woods remain silent. But within the village, the cold grows, not from the wind, but from within a chill of uncertainty, of eyes watching from behind shutters, of neighbors no longer trusted. And in all this stillness, you rest. You are only the observer, floating through time, unseen, untouched, as if your spirit hovers just above the rooftops, watching the snow fall over a village slowly folding in on itself. Breathe in softly. Exhale with ease. There's no need to follow every detail. The story will carry you like a stream in twilight. You need only to rest, to listen, and to let go. The snow continues to fall, layer upon layer, as if the sky itself is trying to muffle the sound of growing unrest. In Salem, the rhythm of days no longer follows the sun. It follows the whispers. Women walk with eyes, lowered hands clasped tightly. Men gather in corners of meeting houses, murmuring lines from scripture and from memory. A kinda quiet panic settles in, like fog, not loud, but thick, pressing in from all sides. Accusations bloom like frost on window glass. No longer are they rare, no longer questioned. To name a witch is to relieve the weight. To speak a name is to distance oneself from the flame of suspicion. And so, names are spoken. Some expected, some not. A midwife, an old woman whose husband died young, a man who argued too often at town meetings, a girl who once danced. It does not take much. A look held too long, a loaf of bread that doesn't rise, a sickness no one can explain, a dog that barks at nothing. Each small thing becomes a thread in a growing net, and no one knows when their own thread might be tugged. The jails fill slowly, not with monsters, but with neighbors, mothers, farmers, children, each taken not with screams, but with ceremony, with scripture and signature. And still, the snow falls, covering the steps, the fields, the roofs of homes that now feel less like shelter and more like places of waiting, all of it wrapped in a silence that doesn't comfort, only listens. You are only the observer, floating through time, unseen, untouched, as if your spirit hovers just above the rooftops, watching the snow fall over a village slowly folding in on itself. Breathe in softly. Exhale with ease. There's no need to follow every detail. The story will carry you like a stream in twilight. You need only to rest, to listen, and to let go. The snow continues to fall, layer upon layer, as if the sky itself is trying to muffle the sound of growing unrest. In Salem, the rhythm of days no longer follows the sun. It follows the whispers. Women walk with eyes, lowered hands clasped tightly. Men gather in corners of meeting houses, murmuring lines from scripture and from memory. A kinda quiet panic settles in, like fog, not loud, but thick, pressing in from all sides. Accusations bloom like frost on window glass. No longer are they rare, no longer questioned. To name a witch is to relieve the weight. To speak a name is to distance oneself from the flame of suspicion. And so, names are spoken. Some expected, some not. A midwife, an old woman whose husband died young, a man who argued too often at town meetings, a girl who once danced. It does not take much. A look held too long, a loaf of bread that doesn't rise, a sickness no one can explain, a dog that barks at nothing. Each small thing becomes a thread in a growing net, and no one knows when their own thread might be tugged. The jails fill slowly, not with monsters, but with neighbors, mothers, farmers, children, each taken not with screams, but with ceremony, with scripture and signature. And still, the snow falls, covering the steps, the fields, the roofs of homes that now feel less like shelter and more like places of waiting, all of it wrapped in a silence that doesn't comfort, only listens. And through it all, you float, unaffected, weightless, safe within your own breath. Let that breath come slow, in and out, like waves against an ancient shore. You are not in Salem. You are beyond time, in a place where only calm lives, where stories come not to stir, but to settle. Let the soft rhythm of history rock you gently, back and forth, until your thoughts begin to dim. The cold deepens, not just in the air, but in the hearts of the people. A stillness begins to settle. Not peace, but a quiet heavy with waiting. Church bells ring softly on distant mornings, calling the village to prayer. Inside the meeting house, candles flicker. Faces look forward, but eyes dart sideways. Each sermon speaks of sin, of judgment, of fire waiting beneath the floorboards of the soul. Each word weighs heavier than the last. And the girls, still trembling, still calling out names, still held in a strange kind of reverence. They are children, but no longer seen as such. They are vessels, they say. Tools of God, or warnings from Him. They speak, and people listen. They point, and people fall away. Their words are not questioned, not now. A single gesture from a trembling hand can send a neighbor to jail. A single cry in the night can awaken old fears sleeping just beneath the surface. And so the town holds its breath. Families avoid one another. Friends become strangers. Doors close a little faster. Curtains are drawn a little tighter. The woods beyond the village grow quieter. Even the wind seems to hush as it passes over the rooftops. And the snow, always the snow, falling slowly, softening the sharpness of the world. If you listen closely, you can hear it. The hush between heartbeats, the space between words. That is where we drift now. No need to follow every moment. Let it blur like candlelight behind frosted glass. Let your breath be slow. Let your body be heavy. Let your mind become clear. You are floating now through the shadows of history, not to awaken anything, but to lull it back to sleep. The story does not ask for attention. It only asks for presence, a gentle listening, like one might give to rain on a rooftop. Close your eyes a little more, if they're not already closed. Feel the quiet settle deeper. There is more to the story. But for now, there is only rest. The jail is cold, its walls thick with stone and damp with winter breath. Inside, straw lines the floor, and silence stretches longer than the shadows. Those in prisons sit quietly, wrapped in wool and uncertainty. They do not shout. They do not protest. They wait for news, for trials, for mercy. Time moves strangely here. Minutes feel like days. Nights pass without stars, and always there is the sound, the soft drip of melting frost, the distant murmur of prayer, the footsteps of guards whose faces never change. Some of those imprisoned once sang. Some once danced. Some once laughed loudly in the sun. But in Salem, memories fade fast when fear takes their place. Outside, in the village square, snow gathers gently around the old meeting. Icicles hang like silent chimes, never ringing, only watching. The townspeople gather more often now, not for celebration, but for inquiry. 4 questions that come with no answers, only judgments. More names are written down, more arrests are made. Some begin to wonder if the devil they fear might not be hiding in the woods after all, but walking softly among them, wearing the face of someone they know. And still, no one speaks this aloud, because in Salem, doubt is louder than guilt, and silence is the safest prayer. Let these thoughts pass over you like clouds across a pale moon. You are not here to worry. You are not here to judge. You are the calm observer, drifting gently through moments soft by time. Each breath you take brings you deeper into stillness. Each word is a step further from waking. Let go of today. Let go of tomorrow. There is only now. Only the steady hum of quiet, the slow swirl of snow, the peaceful rhythm of rest. Feel your fingers relax. Feel your shoulders sink. Feel your mind grow dim and quiet. There is no more to carry. Only this moment. Only calm. The wind moves softly now, whistling low through the bare trees, curling around chimneys, sighing beneath doorframes. Not to frighten, just to remind the world that it is still winter, and still watching. In Salem, the lines between truth and fear grow thin as morning mist. Stories swirl in every corner, not loud, but constant. A neighbor's look, a child's dream, a word once said too sharply. Any of these might be remembered now as signs. The afflicted girls sit quietly sometimes, gazing into firelight. And then, without warning, they shriek. They flinch. They claim to see spirits clawing at them, witches whispering in their ears, spectral animals biting their ankles. The villagers listen. Some nod solemnly. Others avert their eyes. And still, names continue to fall like flakes of ash from a far-off flame. But there is no fire, only cold and fear and silence. A trial is held. It does not feel like justice. It feels like ritual. The accused stands, the others watch. The room is filled with breath held too long, hands folded too tightly. No lawyer speaks. No evidence beyond testimony, just stories and the weight of belief. Outside, life goes on. Children fetch water. Cows are milked. Wood is chopped. But all of it feels quieter now, as if the whole village is waiting for something to end that has only just begun. And you float gently above it all, as if resting in a cradle of time. Your thoughts drifting like snowflakes that never touch the ground. And breathe out even slower. You are not in danger. You are not in Salem. You are watching the past through a soft, sleepy veil. Let your body relax deeper. Let your eyes grow heavier. Let each breath carry you closer to peace. And if you are still awake, type the word stillness just once, or even twice, in the comments below. Then close your eyes and drift. The past cannot touch you. You are safe in the quiet, and we are only beginning to let go. The days grow longer now, but the warmth does not return. Spring lingers far beyond the horizon, hesitant, uncertain, as if even the seasons are wary of stepping into Salem. The jail is full, more than it was ever built to hold. Mothers, separated from children, husbands from wives, neighbors from neighbors. Some confess. Some do not. Confession, they are told, brings mercy. But what kind of mercy? To live branded, or to die silent? It is a cruel choice, wrapped in the language of righteousness, one that echoes through the stone walls, and into the hearts of those who still wait, still wonder. The meeting house is fuller than ever, every sermon sharpened with warnings of temptation, with images of fire and torment. And always, the eyes, watching. One wrong glance, one misunderstood word, and your name might be next. And yet, the village moves on. Chores are done. Meals are cooked. Babies are born. All of it, under a blanket of quiet tension that never lifts. The woods still stand, just beyond the fields. Tall, dark, ancient. The people fear them. They always have, not because of what they see, but because of what they imagine waits inside. A place without fences, without sermons, without rules. And you, gentle listener, float softly above this world, untouched by its cold, held only by quiet, by rhythm, by the slow breath of dreams. Breathe in. Feel the calm deepen. Breathe out. Let the thoughts fade further. You are in no hurry. Time means nothing here. Only rest, only the comfort of distance, of knowing that this story, with all its shadows and snow, is only a dream now. You are drifting through it, like a feather through fog, silent, peaceful, free. No need to remember. No need to know what comes next. Just listen, just rest. The names continued to rise, like frost blooming across a window pane at dawn. Each morning brings whispers. Each evening brings another soul questioned. The people of Salem no longer ask if witches walk among them. They ask how many remain, how many still hide behind friendly smiles, quiet voices, and folded hands. The village has changed. It still looks the same. Wooden houses, narrow lanes, thin trails of smoke curling into gray skies. But the feeling has thickened, heavier now, like air before a storm that never breaks. Children still play, but not as freely. Laughter comes, but short and quiet. No one runs too far, or speaks too loud, or lingers too long with a neighbor. Safety is found in sameness, in stillness, in silence. The trials grow longer. The testimonies grow stranger. Stories of spirits, of animals speaking, of shapes slipping through walls like smoke. They do not ask why. They only ask who. And the accused, they speak slowly or not at all. Some break under the weight of days without rest, nights without warmth. Others sit still, eyes closed, waiting. A silence deeper than snow blankets everything. Even the forest seems to listen, as if the trees themselves hold their breath. And in this hush, you drift. Your breath is soft, your heart beats steady. You are wrapped in words, but not bound by them. You are not in this place, you are above it, beyond it, a quiet spirit passing gently through. Each word you hear is like a falling leaf, slow, weightless, meant not to stir, but to still. Let the tension melt away, like snow beneath the early sun. Let your muscles soften, your thoughts slow to a gentle ripple. There is nothing you must do, nowhere you must go. Only this moment, only the quiet, only the soft breath of sleep approaching. Let yourself sink, not in fear, but in calm. Now the village has grown quieter still. Even the wind, which once whistled through the eaves and stirred the snow, seems subdued, as if listening, as if watching. The people walk more slowly. They speak more carefully. Each word, each glance, each silence is a decision. The trials, once rare and whispered, are now expected. Names are spoken with less surprise, less grief, and sometimes with relief. Because when fear is shared, it becomes a strange kind of bond, a silent agreement that it's better to point a finger than to feel its touch. The prison swells with the weight of stories. Each accused soul carries their own quiet truth. But truth is not what's being searched for. Not anymore. The afflicted girls sit near the court. Their voices are no longer questioned. Their fits, their cries, their accusations. Each one builds the foundation of belief that no longer needs proof. Specters, shadows, whispers in the dark. The devil, they say, wears many faces, and if you can't see him, perhaps he's wearing yours. And so the people turn inward. They question themselves. They study their own dreams, their own sins, searching for any sign. They too might be touched by what they fear. Outside, life thins. The frost hangs longer on the branches. The fields lie still and forgotten. The birds do not return, and through it all, you drift far above this quiet storm. You are not here to judge, nor to change, nor to wake. You are here to float, to breathe, to feel the soft rhythm of a story told not to be remembered, but to be released. Let your breath match the pace of falling snow. Let your thoughts grow lighter, like smoke trailing into a pale sky. There is peace in distance. There is calm in forgetting. You are not a villager. You are not the judged or the judge. You are only a quiet traveler, passing through a fading dream. The days now blend into one another, like footprints lost beneath falling snow. The village no longer marks time by the sun or the seasons, but by the names. The ones whispered, written, spoken aloud in court. Even those who once questioned have grown quiet. Doubt is dangerous here. Silence, a safer companion. A strange numbness begins to spread. Not from cold, but from habit. The rhythm of accusation has become familiar, almost expected. The afflicted girls are tired, but still they speak. Still they cry out. Still they claim to see the faces of those who walk with devils, whose shadows twist in the night. The people listen, and though their hearts ache, they nod, because what else can they do? To challenge is to invite scrutiny. To protect, it's a risk belief, and to wait quietly is to survive. So they wait and survive. And all the while, more are taken, men and women alike. Some who spoke too boldly, some who spoke too little, a woman who healed with herbs, a man who owned too much land, a widow who laughed too often, each soul taken with prayer and parchment, and the quiet approval of those too weary to resist. And yet there is no chaos, no riots, no noise, only the steady thrum of cold suspicion, only the slow procession of souls into jails, into silence. And you, gentle dreamer, float above it all, untouched. The story drifts around you like fog, thick and hushed, softening every edge. Let your breath be your anchor, in and out, slowly, easily with every word. You drift deeper, not into history, but into rest. Your thoughts are lighter now, your body softer, your waking world fading behind a veil of snow and time. Let go. Let it all blur. There is nothing to hold on to here, only sleep, and sleep is coming. There comes a time when even fear begins to fade, not because it has ended, but because it has become ordinary, part of the air, part of the prayer, part of the pause before speaking. In Salem, that time has come. The villagers still whisper, still gather in pews, still glance sideways at neighbors, and cross themselves when passing the jail. But the edge has dulled. The flame, once wild, now burns low, smoldering, but steady. The trials continue, but the names are harder now. They belong to people long known, faces often seen. A friend's wife, a brother's child, a midwife who once helped deliver your son. And so, the fear changes, not only deeper, quieter, worn like a second coat. Some begin to wonder, not aloud but in thought, soft, drifting thoughts that visit in the quietest hours of morning. Thoughts like, what if they were wrong? What if this is not what righteousness looks like? What if mercy has forgotten us? But these thoughts pass like clouds, fleeting, unspoken. And in the stillness that follows, you rest. You are not of this place. You are the silent witness, floating gently through a world long folded into memory. You do not carry their burden. You only observe, softly, sleepily, with the quiet curiosity of a dream half remembered. Let your body grow heavy. Let your breath come in waves, slow and small, like ripples on a quiet pond. The fire in your thoughts dims further now. The light behind your eyes grows softer, less certain. And that is good. That is rest arriving. You have wandered far already. Through snow, through silence, through stories spoken in candlelight. And yet, there is no end to reach. No answer to find. Only the drift, only the hush, only the warmth waiting just beneath your breath. Stay here, if only for a while longer. You are safe, you are far away, and the night still holds you gently. The village sleeps beneath a blanket of soft ash-gray sky. No stars tonight, only clouds that move slowly, like ancient thoughts unfolding across the heavens. The snow has melted in patches now. Mud clings to boots. Icicles drip with quiet persistence, as if time itself is beginning to remember how to flow again. Inside the jail, the air grows heavier, not colder, just still. Those who remain speak less. Some pray. Some sit in silence. Some simply stare at the walls that have forgotten how to echo. There are names still to be called, but fewer. The fever is beginning to pass, though no one says it aloud. No one dares name the change. A subtle shift, like the end of a long dream you don't quite remember. The village does not rejoice. There is no celebration, only the sense that the storm might be winding down, though no one knows what it will leave behind. And still, people attend the trials. Still, the afflicted cry out from wooden benches, their words sharp, their gestures practiced. But fewer eyes meet theirs now, fewer heads nod, and in that soft retreat, a kind of quiet begins to grow. Some have begun to question, only in private, only in thought. But the questions are there, as real as the frost on the windows, as fragile as the thaw, and you, gentle listener, float softly through it all. You are not bound by their fear. You are not tangled in their stories. You drift above, light as breath, slow as a fallen petal. Your body is warm now. Your thoughts, as gentle as a lullaby with no end. Let them rise and fall like waves. Thoughts of nothing in particular, just a feeling of letting go. Just the sound of stillness. If your eyes are still open, let them flutter closed. If your breath is shallow, let it deepen. Like the hush before a snowfall. You are safe. You are far. And sleep is near. The days are growing longer. The sky, though still pale, holds a gentler kind of light. And yet, Salem remains unchanged. Or perhaps just unwilling to admit that change has already begun. The trials continue, but they do not burn as hot. The voices in the courtroom, once sharp and certain, have grown more quiet, more careful. Even the afflicted girls, who once cried with such urgency, seem their words still sting, but their eyes look distant now, like children waking from a dream they can no longer control. Some of the townspeople no longer come to watch. They stay in their homes, tending gardens, mending roofs, listening to the wind instead of the gavel. They do not speak of regret. They do not speak at all. But silence, here, has always said more than words. There is a soft shift in the air. Not forgiveness, not yet, but something close to release, as if the weight of fear is finally lifting. Grain. No one dares to say that perhaps too many were taken. But the thought lingers like smoke that has no fire left to feed. And you, gentle traveler of dreams, are far from it all now. You float above the rooftops, past the steeple, through the branches, still bare from winter. Nothing touches you. Nothing calls you back. You are surrounded by calm, by distance, by time stretched so thin it no longer holds shape. Breathe in, softly, and out, even softer. You are safe within this story. Safe to rest, to drift, to let go. No questions, no endings, only the sound of your own slow breath and the quiet world folding itself gently into the corners of sleep. Let yourself go further now, into that quiet place where time does not follow. You are almost there, and the night is still waiting for you with open arms. In the village, spring presses gently at the edges, not loud, not sudden, but slow, like the unfurling of a forgotten melody. The earth softens beneath weary feet. Birdsong returns in the distance, hesitant at first, then certain. But in Salem, the thought is not in the soil. But in Salem, the thaw is not in the soil. It is in the hearts. A quiet realization begins to grow, not spoken, but felt, like a shadow lifting from the mind. The accused remain, but their names are now met with longer pauses, with eyes that no longer meet the judge's gaze. Some begin to question openly, not the children, not the afflicted, but the judges, the ministers, the leaders, not with anger, but with weight, a heavy, thoughtful silence, after a storm that has raged for too long. Have we been discertain? Have we lost the shape of truth beneath the weight of fear? The answers do not come but the questions remain. And slowly, quietly, the tide begins to turn. Some prisoners are released. Some confessions are withdrawn. The gallows grow quiet. The air feels different now. Still cold, still cautious, but no longer heavy with dread. The people of Salem begin to look around, at their neighbors, their friends, the empty spaces at their tables, and wonder what cannot be undone. But you do not carry this sorrow. You only observe, gently floating above the landscape of memory. Let the softness of sleep carry you further. Let the warmth of safety cradle you. You are not in Salem. You are in stillness, in silence, in a space made only for rest. Let your hands go loose. Let your eyes close, if they haven't already. There is nothing left to hold. Only breath. Only calm. Only the drifting quiet that comes just before dreams arrive. Stay here. Stay soft. Stay weightless. There is more story to come. But for now, there is only this moment. And this moment is peace. Now, the wind carries a different sound. Not warning. It moves through the village like a gentle sigh, rustling the new leaves, brushing against windows that once hid trembling eyes. The trials have slowed. Not stopped, but faded like echoes stretched to thin across the hills. Some speak of mistakes, quietly, carefully, but the word hangs in the air now, not as accusation, but as sorrow. No longer do the villagers gather to hear cries and see hands pointed. Instead, they stay home. They tend their animals. They watch the clouds. They look inward, and in the stillness of this new season, they begin to notice the holes left behind, a neighbor's absence at the well, an empty pew in church, a chair never filled at supper. These are not loud things. They do not shout, but they linger, soft and aching, like songs with no ending. Some who once accused have grown quiet. Some who once judged have stepped aside. And the afflicted girls, they do not cry out as often. Their eyes are tired. Their voices uncertain. Perhaps the spell has broken, or perhaps the village has finally awakened from its long, cold dream. The jail still holds names, but now the locks feel less like protection and more like reminders. And through it all, you rest, untouched, untroubled. You are the dreamer, now, not of fear, but of peace. Each word a feather, each moment a lull. There is nothing to follow, no path to trace, only the soft retreat of thought, the gentle falling into stillness. Let your breath slow further, in out, quiet as falling dusk. There is no story more important than your sleep, no history more sacred than your peace. So drift and drift again, as if every exhale carries you further into the soft sea of dreams. There is quiet now in Salem, not just in the streets, but in the hearts of those who remain. The trials have dwindled to whispers, the cries have faded, and in their place, a silence deeper than snow settles over the land. Some prisoners return home, changed, older, more fragile, their gardens overgrown, their doors stiff with disuse, yet they walk the paths they once feared they'd never see again. Others do not return, and no one speaks too loudly about them. Their names are carried in glances, in prayers spoken beneath the breath, in chairs left untouched at the fire. Salem begins to breathe again, not with ease, but with caution, like a world waking slowly from a heavy sleep. The church bells ring softer now, less like warning, more like mourning. Ministers speak of grace. They ask for reflection, and though few answer, many listen. The forest at the village's edge stands the same as ever, tall, quiet, unmoved by all that has passed. Some still say, the devil walks there. Others no longer listen, because the true shadow, they've come to realize, did not come from the woods. It came from within, from fear, from grief, from the desperate need to find control in a world that never promised it. And you, soft listener, quiet soul adrift in this memory, you float far above the ache, above the echoes. You are held in stillness, in comfort, in safety. Let your breath become lighter. Let your thoughts become fewer. You have nothing to fear. Not in this moment, not in this dream. The story winds down. The past grows quiet, and you grow quieter still. Feel your body rest deeper into the mattress beneath you. Feel your mind loosen its hold on the waking world. There is no need for memory here. Only calm, only softness, only the slow rhythm of breath and the hush that follows. You are safe, you are far, and you are almost asleep. And now, as the sun returns more fully to the land, Salem begins to resemble itself again. But not entirely. The roads are swept. The fields are tilled. Children run again, though they look over their shoulders more often than before. The air carries the scent of soil, of warming earth, and something else. A hush of memory that clings to every doorstep. The gallows stand empty. The jail, too, begins to loosen its grip. Some doors open. Others will never open again. The ministers who once called for judgment now speak of healing. They ask the people to forgive themselves, each other, the unseen forces that stirred so much sorrow. But healing is slow, and not everyone seeks it. Some walk past the old meeting house without looking. Some gather only to weep or to say nothing at all. There are no parades, no announcements, only the steady return of life's smaller rhythms. Washing, sewing, rocking babies to sleep in rooms where no candles burn for too long. A new kind of quiet grows, not the hush of fear, but the hush of reflection. You are wrapped in that hush now, not as a witness to the sorrow, but as a soul floating beyond it. You have walked far through this dream, but never once carried its weight. Your breath remains slow, your body still. The night folds around you like a warm quilt stitched with memory and mist. Let the edges of your thoughts blur even more. There is no more to know, no more to do, just this breath. And the next, sleep is not a place to arrive at, but a state to slip in, and you, gentle dreamer, are already there, drifting deeper, through story, through silence, through time. Let it take you, let it keep you, and let it soothe you until morning is only a distant thought. Now the trees have bloomed again. Tiny leaves stretch toward the sun, green and trembling, as if uncertain they will be allowed to stay. But they are here, and so is the warmth, and so is the stillness. In Salem, life continues, different now, quieter. The village carries no banners, no proclamations, but it carries the weight of what was done, and what cannot be undone. Those who once pointed fingers now keep their hands folded. Those who were silent remain so. But the silence has changed. It is no longer made of fear. It is made of memory. And memory is soft, now blunted by time, wrapped in layers of repetition and forgetting. There are still prayers, still sermons, but they speak more often of grace than of fire. And when the wind blows, no longer does it sound like judgment. It sounds like forgiveness, fragile, but real. There are children born now who will not know the names of those who perished. Their lullabies will not mention trials, nor witches, nor gallows. And maybe that, too, is a kind of healing. And you, gentle soul, float in the space between knowing and sleep. You've walked the winter roads. You've watched the shadows shift. And now you drift above the thaw. You are not bound to the past. You are wrapped in the present, soft, still, safe. Let the words wash over you. They are not here to teach, not here to warn, only to soothe, to cradle, to rock you gently into the final hours of night. Breathe in the warmth. Breathe out the weight. Let your thoughts flicker like candlelight, and then fade into nothing at all. There is no more story to hold. No more meaning to seek, only the gentle, endless hush of a world that has begun to forgive itself. And you, floating within it, are already asleep. And so the village settles, not into peace, but into quiet acceptance. The past does not speak anymore, not loudly. It only hums beneath the surface, a low murmur beneath every step, every prayer, every passing glance. There are no more trials. No more cries in the night, only stories now, softly told, pass from one firelit room to another, not to frighten, not to accuse, but to remember, gently. The gallows are gone. The jail is nearly empty. Only a few names linger on worn parchment, faded like ink, touched too many times by tears. Some say the afflicted were misled. Some say they truly believed. Most simply say nothing at all. Because to speak is to reopen what the wind has worked so hard to cover. Children play again in the fields. Mothers plant herbs in small gardens. Fathers build fences. Not to keep danger out, but to hold something tender in. Time, like the river beyond the forest, flows on. It does not ask permission. It does not wait for understanding. It carries with it both the sorrow and the soil, turning what was once sharp into something soft. And you, sweet traveler of sleep, have floated with it long enough to let go. Let your breath be slow, and slower still. Let your muscles melt. Let your mind untether. You are held now by quiet, by calm, by the gentle passing of a night nearly complete. You have walked through fire and frost without being touched, because this is not your burden. This is not your fear. This is only a story. And stories fade when sleep arrives. So drift now, past memory, past time, into the softest place. You know, the place where nothing is asked of you and everything is forgiven. Sleep deeper, gentler, further still. The village no longer speaks of witches, not in sermons, not in dreams, not even in secret. The word has become too heavy. It carries echoes. It stir the dust and wake shadows, best left sleeping. Instead, they speak of crops, of weather, of the coming harvest. They speak of children growing tall, of fence posts needing mending, of bread rising again after too many months without the rhythm of life. Steady, plain, and precious has returned, not because they forgot, but because they needed to remember something softer. There are still those who grieve, still those who sit on porches, watching the sky change, waiting for a name to come back that never will. But they do so in peace now, not in fear, not in shame. And slowly, the guilt thins, like smoke at the end of a long winter. The meeting house door creaks less. The jail's heavy key turns less often. The town records grow quieter, pages filled more with births than with accusations. Time has washed its hand gently across the land. And you lie in stillness, your breath like mist, your thoughts like fading ink. The story is almost done, and yet it does not need to finish, because sleep has already claimed you, or is just now brushing your brow with its final whisper. There is nothing to do now, no meaning to hold, no question to answer, only stillness, only softness, only the lull of words slowing to a hum, then to silence. Feel the weight of your limbs, heavy but safe. Feel the air around you, cool but kind. You are far from Salem now, far from any name. You are floating in a place where even memory rests. And here, nothing matters but this moment, a moment meant only for peace. Now, even the wind that moves through Salem feels gentler. It no longer carries the sharpness of accusation or the chill of suspicion. It carries only pollen and the low hum of bees and the scent of grass returning to earth that once held footsteps too heavy. The past remains, yes, but it no longer presses. It lingers like morning mist, present, but no longer clinging. There are new children now, children who do not know the names once spoken in fear. They chase each other through gardens that once stood silent, untouched. Their laughter does not echo through courtrooms, but through open windows, across wooden fences, into the woods, where no shadows follow. In the woods, those tall, ancient trees stand as they always have, watching, but no longer feared. The devil no longer lives there, at least not in stories. He has been replaced by deer tracks and forgotten toys and the soft glow of fireflies. The village breathes easier now. Its silence is no longer heavy, just soft, just slow. The meeting house door creaks less. The jail's heavy key turns less often. The town records grow quieter, pages filled more with births than with accusations. Time has washed its hand gently across the land. And you lie in stillness, your breath like mist, your thoughts like fading ink. The story is almost done, and yet it does not need to finish, Because sleep has already claimed you, or is just now brushing your brow with its final whisper. There is nothing to do now. No meaning to hold, no question to answer. Only stillness, only softness, only the lull of words slowing to a hum, then to silence. Feel the weight of your limbs. Heavy, but safe. Feel the air around you. Cool but kind. You are far from Salem now. Far from any name. You are floating in a place where even memory rests. And here, nothing matters but this moment. A moment meant only for peace. Now, even the wind that moves through Salem feels gentler. It no longer carries the sharpness of accusation or the chill of suspicion. It carries only pollen and the low hum of bees and the scent of grass returning to earth that once held footsteps too heavy. The past remains, yes, but it no longer presses. It lingers like morning mist, present, but no longer clinging. There are new children now, children who do not know the names once spoken in fear. They chase each other through gardens that once stood silent, untouched. Their laughter does not echo through courtrooms, but through open windows, across wooden fences, into the woods, where no shadows follow. In the woods, those tall, ancient trees stand as they always have, watching, but no longer feared. The devil no longer lives there, at least not in stories. He has been replaced by deer tracks and forgotten toys and the soft glow of fireflies. The village breathes easier now. Its silence is no longer heavy, just soft, just slow, like your breath, like your heartbeat, like your thoughts slipping gently out of focus. You have come so far, dear listener. You've walked through a time of cold belief, watched as fear became form, then faded again into memory. But that path is no longer yours. It is fading behind you, like footprints in river water. Now is not the time to think. Now is the time to let go. Let your eyes rest. Let your breath sink deeper. Let the quiet become whole. You are held now not by story, but by stillness. Let go of every name, every season, every sorrow you have passed. None of it belongs to you. Only this sleep does. Only this hush. Only this feeling of floating beneath a sky that asks nothing of you. You are almost gone now. Not in fear, but in peace. Sleep is waiting. The records in Salem begin to gather dust. Parchment, once held tightly in trembling hands, now rests in drawers untouched. Its ink fading, its weight forgotten by most. The courtroom benches, once crowded with eyes full of dread, sit empty. Sunlight falls through their windows, touching the wooden floor with warm, golden stillness. No one reads the testimonies anymore. No one repeats the names. They lie silent, like stones beneath deep water, shaped by time into something smoother, quieter. A few elders remember, but even their stories come slower now. Their voices softer, their eyes more distant, and perhaps that is how stories choose to rest, not with a sudden ending, but with a gentle fading, like candlelight reaching the last of its wax. No monuments were built, no speeches given, only the slow unfolding of life, returning a hen to hold, a loaf of bread shared, a new child's name spoken aloud without fear. And in this quiet continuation, a kind of healing begins, not in great moments, but in small ones. Moments like yours now, lying still, breathing slow, held in the gentle arms of sleep. You have no need for endings, no need to carry history's weight, only the softness of your pillow, the safety of this silence, the rhythm of your breath guiding you deeper, deeper into rest. Let the last fragments of the story float away, like dandelion seeds in a summer breeze. No need to follow. No need to remember. You are beyond the tale now. Beyond Salem. Beyond words. Only quiet remains. Only comfort. Only sleep. And here, in this moment, you are exactly where you are meant to be. Still. Safe. Drifting. Let go. You are so very close. The stars above Salem have not changed. They wheel slowly in their ancient arcs, unbothered by names, untouched by time. They saw the fires. They saw the silence. And now they see only peace, night after night. They keep their watch, not as judges, but as quiet companions to those who sleep below. In the village, windows glow softly, not from fear, but from warmth. A candle on a bedside table, a fire in a hearth, a baby's breath, steady in the cradle. No more shouts, no more trials, only the hush of life continuing. The trees bend in the breeze, the river runs as it always has, and the air no longer holds the weight of judgment. It holds only dusk, and dew, and rest. And you, who have walked this path in stillness, have earned your place among the quiet things. You are not awake anymore, not in the way the world defines it. Your thoughts are soft, your limbs gentle, your breath the only rhythm that matters now. Let it move through you, in and out, each breath a small surrender to the calm that holds you. There is no tomorrow yet, no morning to plan, only this space, this moment, this peace. If your mind wanders, let it wander far, not through worry, but through softness, through places made of clouds and cool moss and the warmth of hands you once held in some forgotten dream. You are safe here, not in Salem, not in history, not in the past. You are in a place made only for quiet. Let the weight fall from your shoulders. Let your thoughts dissolve, one by one, until only stillness remains. And in that stillness, let sleep take you fully, gently, entirely. And now, the final echoes of that long season have all but vanished. The names, once spoken in trembling voices, now rest beneath stone and soil. The stories, once fiery with fear, have cooled into memory, soft, worn, and distant. Salem, the village once split by whispers, moves on. Its people do not speak much of what happened, not because they've forgotten, but because remembering sometimes needs no words. It lives instead in the way they listen to one another, in the gentle way they gather at the well, in the silence they allow when grief passes by, again on quiet feet. Even the forests, once feared, feels different now. Children walk its edges with baskets and bare feet. They laugh without worry as the trees sway overhead, unconcerned with human burdens. Time continues, slowly, softly. It does not rush. It does not pull. It allows. And in that allowing, you drift. You've walked beside a world long gone, touched only by dreams. Now it fades. And with it, your waking thoughts. Feel how heavy your arms have become, how your breath no longer leads, but follows, how each word seems quieter than the last, more distant, like a lullaby heard from another room. This is the space you belong to now, not to history, not to questions, only to stillness. Let even the idea of memory slip away. You do not need to hold it. You do not need to know how it ends. All that matters is that you are safe, that the story is done speaking, and you are ready to rest fully. The air is cool, but not cold. The light is dim, but not gone. And you, beloved dreamer, are resting inside it all. You are nearly there. Sleep is not far. It's here. It always has been. Beyond the edge of thought, where even dreams begin to blur. There's a place made of stillness, not silence, but stillness, the kind that wraps gently around the body, around the mind, like a soft tide returning to shore. This is where you are now, no longer beside Salem, no longer among names or echoes, only drifting, weightless, through layers of calm that grow deeper with each breath. And there is no need to return. The story has finished its long exhale. The voices have faded. The pages have closed. What remains is only rest. You may still hear the wind through tall pines, or the quiet creak of an old floor, perhaps even the low rhythm of your own heart, steady and slow. These are the sounds of peace, the sounds of a world that asks nothing of you, and in that asking, gives you everything. There are no questions here, no roles to fill, no steps to follow. Just this moment, and the one after it, and the one after that, each softer, each slower, until time itself becomes a gentle breath in the chest of the universe. Let your mind float further, let your body grow heavier, as if the bed beneath you is cradling you in velvet shadows. If a thought comes, smile at it, and let it pass. You need not chase it. You need not name it. It is only a ripple, and you are the lake beneath. Feel how far you've come, not in miles, but in stillness, in release, in the soft surrender of everything you no longer need to carry. Sleep is not behind a door, not hidden in shadows. It is already within you, around you, breathing with you. Let it take you. There is nowhere else to be. You are now far beyond the story, far beyond Salem, beyond names, beyond time. What once felt vivid now rests like mist on a quiet lake, barely remembered and gently dissolving. There is no fear here, no judgment, no remembering to be done, only stillness, only the slow turning of night toward deeper rest. If you are still awake, breathe gently in and let it all go. Let your chest rise and fall like the calm waves of a distant sea, a sea where nothing is urgent, nothing is asked, and every movement is guided by the moon. There is no need for thought now. Even thoughts grow tired, even memories grow sleepy. Let your eyes drift beneath their lids. Let your mouth soften, your shoulders melt, your hands relax. You are safe. You are held. You are exactly where you need to be. Outside, the night continues. Soft wind in the trees, the gentle creak of wood in the quiet, all the world whispering, not to wake you, but to remind you that it's okay to sleep. The stars above spin slowly, as they always have, keeping their silent rhythm for no audience but time itself. And you, gentle listener, are part of that rhythm now, not apart from it, not separate. You are the stillness between sounds, the hush between heartbeats, the calm between yesterday and tomorrow. Feel how deeply you've arrived in this place, without urgency, this place without edge, this place of pure, effortless rest. If your thoughts try to stir, wrap them in softness, in repetition, in quiet, and let them float away. There is nothing left to remember, nothing left to carry, only the comfort of being, just being still, quiet, asleep. Now, you are no longer traveling. You are floating, suspended in a space between sound and silence, between thought and dream. The world of waking has loosened its grip. There is no edge to hold, no path to follow, only soft currents carrying you deeper into the folds of rest. The story you heard, of fear, of fire, of fading, has slipped quietly into the shadows, and the shadows, in turn, have melted into calm. You are far from questions now, far from words. Even my voice, gentle and low, is growing faint. Let it fade if it must. Sleep does not require language, only rhythm, only breath. So breathe, softly, easily, with the kind of ease that only comes when all is well. Your muscles loosened and still, your thoughts floating and weightless, your spirit drifting among stars that never ask your name. You are free now, not lost, but entirely unburdened. If you are still here, still have, you may type a word into the comments just once or twice. A word like stillness. Stillness, and then return to the gentle place where your breath is all that remains. Let go of this voice. Let go of this world. Let go of holding on. Even letting go, you'll find, requires no effort. It happens gently, like the way a leaf lets go of the branch in the calm of autumn. No wind, No rush, just release. You are in the cradle of the night now, and the night holds no fear. It holds you, softly, quietly, endlessly. And now, what little remains of thought is, like dust in golden air, weightless, slow, almost gone. You are no longer listening. You are being. No need to understand. No need to follow. These words are only here to guide the final part of your drifting. A breeze moves gently across the fields of memory, smoothing every edge, cooling every ember. There is no fire now, only the warmth left behind, the warmth of blankets, the warmth of breath, the warmth of stillness that reaches deeper than dreams. Your body is calm, heavy but held, the way stones rest in the bottom of a clear stream. Still, but never alone. Above you, stars turn without hurry. They've watched over every village, every forest, every sleeping child since before time had a name. And now, they watch over you. Not with eyes, not with purpose, but with presence. You are not forgotten. You are not adrift. You are part of the hush that surrounds the whole world. When it finally, gently, you do not need to try anymore. There is no more script, no more story, only this moment, and the one that follows, soft as snowfall. If you hear my voice, know that it is fading, because you are fading too. Not into darkness, but into peace. Every sound grows distant, every thought quiet, even your breath, so gentle now, barely stirs the air. Sleep is not waiting. Sleep is not coming. Sleep is here. You are in it, completely. There is no beginning here, no ending, just a gentle unfolding of quiet, a quiet so deep, so soft, that it feels like velvet drawn over the sky. Nothing stirs, not even the stars. You are in the stillest part of the night now, where time is slow, and thoughts are whispers dissolving before they're heard. The breath you take does not need to be noticed. It simply is, moving in, moving out, like the tide beneath a sleeping moon. There is no story here, only comfort, only presence. You've gone far beyond Salem, beyond the echoes, beyond the memory of voices and winter winds. Now, you lie in a world made only of rest. Nothing touches you here. Not worry, not noise, not even dreams. You are wrapped in something older than fear, older than time. It is peace. It is the space between stars, the pause between waves, the breath the world takes just before dawn. And you, floating in that pause, have nothing more to do. No one needs you now. Not yet. The world will wait. Morning will wait. Even the light waits for you. Because sleep, true sleep, asks for nothing. It does not rush. It does not knock. It simply welcomes you when you are ready. And you are ready. So fall. Fall through softness, through silence, through the slowest, safest kind of night. No wait, no time, no name. Only this, only rest. Now, there is only the quiet hum of nothing. Not emptiness, but fullness, wrapped in stillness, like clouds holding the last of the moonlight just before they vanish into morning. You are here, but not awake. You are not dreaming, not thinking, not waiting. You are simply resting in the truest way. Even the air around you feels gentler, like it knows not to disturb. Your limbs are weightless now. Your breath a part of the room, blending with the night, with the hush, with the endless softness. Nothing moves quickly here. Nothing stirs, unless invited. And you invite only peace. Thoughts, if they rise at all, do so like bubbles that never reach the surface. They form, they shimmer, then vanish, without need for attention. Your name is quiet now. Even your heartbeat slows in the comfort of stillness. There is no cold here, no sharpness, only the gentle warmth of knowing you are safe. Even as the world disappears beneath the blanket of sleep, let what remains drift away. Even my voice, if you still hear it, is a distant ripple on a calm sea. You are beyond listening now, beyond language, beyond memory, just floating, just resting. There is no next step, no ending to prepare for, only this moment, and then the next, and the next, all made of softness and sleep. So, stay as long as you like. No one will wake you. This is the final whisper, the final breath before sleep holds you completely. No more story, no more steps, only the endless gentle now. You are not beside Salem, or beneath stars, or wrapped in names from the past. You are in the deepest part of rest, where time pauses and the body melts into stillness. If a single thought lingers, let it drift away like a feather on slow-moving air. It does not belong to you anymore. Not tonight. Not here. The night asks nothing of you. There is no need to stay awake. No need to understand. You are allowed, fully allowed, to let go. Feel it now. How soft the silence has become. How heavy your breath feels, in the best possible way. Like warm sand. Like velvet dusk. Like being cradled by the quiet itself. You are part of that quiet. You are the hush, the calm, the still water untouched by wind. The story is gone, and you remain not in thought, but in sleep. There is nothing more to say, nothing more to hear. Only the breath, and the pause, and the drift. And now, you are truly asleep. Completely, peacefully, endlessly. Good night. Sleep deeply. Stay here. Just rest. Just rest. Just rest.